Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming back, watching my YouTube videos. This is Simon Adim. I'm a nurse from Southeast England, and I'm sharing information about NMC registration, UK nursing, how you can be a nurse from overseas, how you can be a nurse in the UK from overseas. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I provide information about UK nursing, each and everything around me. And if this topic interests you, you can consider subscribing. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for your support and your efforts. So today's video, I'm getting loads of questions about NMC English, and I think in the previous video I didn't give any examples how you need to club your results, whether you take Ielts or OET, and how you can club your results, how you can provide the certificates to NMC. So we are going to share this topic, we are going to discuss this topic in this video with the examples, so you wouldn't be asking me again and again. If you watch this video, you would understand it better. So let's dive into the video, and I don't want to waste your time. Let's dive in. So first of all, you need to know what is the criteria for Ielts or OET by NMC, which is accepted by NMC. So NMC said that they are going to change the requirements for Ielts and OET score, but just keep in mind it's not yet changed. They are going to implement this in February. They are going to change the criteria in February. All right, so a lot of people asking me that can I submit my results if I took 6.5 in reading or writing? 6.5 was acceptable. So the criteria is you need to get 7. If you are taking IELTS, it should be academic IELTS, and you need to take 7 in reading, speaking and listening. 6.5 in writing is acceptable. If you take OET, then you need to take B score in reading, B in speaking, B in listening, and C plus in writing. All right, so if you take this test, if you got these results, well and good, you don't need to retake the test. These are the current requirement. But what NMC, they decided they are going to lower the result, the scores in February. But it's not yet finalized. They said they will do it in January, but nothing happened in January, so they are saying they will do it in February. If you want to combine your results and the next time you get 6 in any subtest, in writing it's acceptable. If you get 6 in the following test, it is acceptable. But if in reading, speaking or listening you get 6, it's not acceptable. I will explain it to you in the on the website, because it will be easier for you to understand. All right, there are 3 ways they are going to, there are 3 things, 3 criteria they are going to accept. What is that, we will discuss in the video. I will show you the NMC website where you can read it by yourself also, just to make it easy for you to understand. All right, let's go. Right, so it's on the NMC website. They say what types of evidence we accept. There are 3 types of evidence that will satisfy us that you have the necessary knowledge of English to practice in the UK. We will accept one of these types without needing further evidence. So what are those? We can see those. If you cannot provide the evidence we request, or we are not satisfied with what you send us, we will need to provide an alternative type of evidence. So if you cannot provide the evidence, they'll ask something else. If you are trained in English, you have a pre-registration nurse, midwife or nursing associate qualification which was taught and examined in English, they will accept that one. The next one is recent practice. You have 1 year of practice as a nurse, midwife or nursing associate in a majority English speaking country. Then they will ask the reference from the employer and they're going to accept it. The third thing on the list is English language test. You have necessary required English. You have recently achieved the required score in one of the English language tests, and they accept OET and IELTS. We are not looking to expand this list at the moment, so only these two tests they accept: IELTS academic and OET. If you don't know, a lot of people ask me which IELTS they need to take. They need to take IELTS academic only, not general. All right, you must achieve the required score in each of the four areas of the reading, writing, speaking and listening. Your test scores are valid for 2 years. So this is the requirement. These are the three things they want you to do. They want you to these are the three things they can accept for your English language test. All right, you can read about this on their website, and it's quite easy to understand. If you go on nmc.uk, you'll be able to understand it better, and it's quite easy to understand if you go through their website, and you don't need to ask anybody. So if we go further down, they write how to combine the test results. If you have done IELTS, they said you can achieve the required mark across two IELTS test sitting if you sit the test within 12 months of each other. All right, you are tested in all four sections at the same time. You achieve at least 7 for reading, listening and speaking, and at least 6.5 for writing in at least one of the two test sittings. And they also say at the end, no score in either of the two test sitting should go below 6.5 for listening, reading and speaking, or below 6 for writing. So this is the criteria for IELTS. You can take two tests. If you did not get the desired score in one sitting, you can do it again, and you should get no score. You should get 6.5 in each of the subtests except writing. In writing, 6 is acceptable for combining. Right, the next thing we are going to look for is for OET. Remember, you cannot combine the test results for OET and IELTS. You can only combine the two tests for OET and two tests for IELTS, and they should be in 1 year. They should be within the validity. Right, let's go further. Right, so in OET, if you are combining the test score, we can accept the OET on paper, OET on computer and OET at home. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So combining OET test score, you can achieve the required mark across two OET test sitting if you sit the test within 12 months of each other. You are tested in all four sections at the same time. You achieved at least grade B, 350 to 450, 440 for reading, listening and speaking, and at least grade C plus, 300 to 340 for writing in at least one of the two test sittings. All right, so you can you achieve at least grade B for reading, listening and speaking, and grade C plus for writing. No score in either of the two test sitting should go below C plus, which is 300 to 340, or C for writing. So we are going to discuss some examples also for this towards the end of the video. I hope I made it clear. I'm not saying it by myself. It's from the nmc.uk website. You can go it there, you can Google it and read about it, what is the criteria and whether you meet the criteria or not. They have now updated a calculator also, where you can combine your results and see if your results are in that range. All right. So for IELTS, if you, let's say you took the test in January, you got 7 in reading, 7 in speaking, and 6.5 in writing, and you got listening 6.5. you resit for the test, because for listening your initial score was 6.5. You resit for the test and you got 7 in reading, 7 in speaking, and 6 in writing, and 6.5 in listening. So it will be acceptable, because they said no result should be lower than 6.5 in 2 sittings. So if you had gotten 6 in listening here, it won't be acceptable, but now it is acceptable. Let's see another example for OET. You took the first test, and then you got C plus in listening, B in reading, B in speaking, and C plus in writing, and you had to retake the test because your listening was C plus. That was your first test. Now for resit, you got B in listening, C plus in reading, and C plus in speaking, and C in writing. It will be acceptable. Why? Because no test should be lower than, no result should be lower than C plus for listening, reading, and speaking. Writing is fine. So if we go back to their website here, see they said no score here. No score in either of the 2 test sitting are below 6.5 for listening, reading, and speaking. So for both test sittings, your score should not go below 6.5 for listening, reading, and speaking, and 6 for writing if you are taking IELTS academic. But for OET, no score in either of the 2 test sitting are below grade C plus. 300 to 340 for listening, reading, and speaking. So for reading, listening, and speaking, you should get C plus, and C for 250 to 290 for writing. If your results are within this limit for 2 tests, you can combine those results. If in any of the tests your results are ups and down, it will not be acceptable. Right, so 3 things they said for the scores we have discussed in detail. And if we go back, I've discussed it already. If you are practicing in the UK or any English speaking country for 1 year, your employer can give reference. If you are trained in an English country, you were taught and examined in English, it will be acceptable. And it will be in implementation. They're going to implement it in February. So far they said they are going to implement it. I hope I made it clear now. If you are taking IELTS or OET and you want to combine your results, watch this video carefully, write it down, all right? Then you will be able to understand it. When we say it gets difficult, but in simple terms, you can combine 2 test results within 1 year. You take 2 tests where they were accepting 7, they will accept 6.5. But in both test sittings, your score should not go below 6.5 for listening, speaking, and reading, and 6 for writing if you are taking IELTS academic. If you are taking OET, your score should not go below 6 C plus in listening, speaking, and reading, and C for writing in both sittings. If your scores are within this range, you can combine these results and apply for NMC. If you in any of the tests your scores are lower than that, they will not accept it. But they are not accepting it currently. They are going to accept it in February. It's going to be implemented in February. So good luck for you guys who have already taken the test and they got their desired scores. Well and good, and I'm going to welcome you here very soon. Good luck to you all who are preparing, and I'm 100%, I guarantee you, if you pay close attention, you can do it. And you can, it's easy, it's not that difficult. If we pay attention, if we give it time with concentration, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. So good luck, and that's it for today. If you have more questions and queries for me, let me know in the comment section. I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. God bless.